Hi, Colleen here. I had a special request from Jan to please make this card and show you how to put it together. It's just the Tuxedo card. There's been so many on Pinterest that I just thought I'd make one up. This is my version. I found two that I really like the style of. One had a fantastic centerpiece and the other one had the outside of it was just great. So I've taken the two and mashed them together to make up this particular card. When it stands up, it sits like that, just like they all do. I've put a triangle on the back to write on, and the inside is just curved like that. It's really so simple to do, and I'm going to show it to you now. Now these flowers I've cut from the Cricut. They come from the Art Philosophy cartridge. The little ones are cut at, the star ones are cut at 1 inch, and the flower here is cut at 1 1/4. It has a 1/2 inch gold glitter, and this is a 1/4 inch glitter, bashful glitter, and then the leaves are just cut from the Art Philosophy too. I can't remember what page they were though, but they're very shallow and very flimsy, so I just inserted them. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. Oh, hang on, I'll show you one here, because we're using white daisies, and I've just layered them onto a piece of acetate so that it gives me more of a bounce and a wobble. So that's what I've done there. Let's get started. So, like I said, it is a very simple, easy little card. We're making it again in the peacock cardstock. And we have our square for the back measures 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. This measures 2 5/8 by 2 5/8. Yeah, that's right. Our pieces for the inside measure, this one is 2 7/8 by 1 1/2. And this one here is 3 by 7/8 and 1 1/2 inches deep. These pieces here measure 1 3/4 by 2 3/4, and you need 4 of those. And then I'm going to show you how to trim the top to fit in under here, so it sits down. We'll also need a piece of ribbon, so I've just cut off a piece of white and tied it up. I'm also on this one going to put a little tag on the front. So that's all our bits done. The stamp set I'm using today, this is a very old one. I can't remember the name of it, but it's just the happy birthday for the back. And then this one here, which is the short and sweet, which will be finishing soon. It's on the retiring list, so if you haven't got it, look, it's a must. I love this one. I use it all the time. So that's my little happy birthday sentiment that I like to use all the time, because it fits inside the little tag just so perfectly. So yeah, so that's the one we're using today. And today I have punched out just some white daisies and put the circle in. That's just this punch here. I just wanted something a bit different in this one here, because this was the original one I did, and that's made using the Postcard Perfect flowers. I hand cut all of those out, and the die cut bit here was from the Chelsea Gardens thin cuts, the leaves. I used those, so that was that one there. So here we go, let's get started. Oh, my poor board's covered in glue where I've been gluing all the flowers together. Right, so the actual piece itself is 3 inches by, let me measure that for you, 3 inches by 8 1/2. So out of one sheet of 12 by 12, you can actually physically cut 4 cards with the backing. You don't get these pieces, but if you wanted these, then you would definitely get 3 cards completely out of a 12 by 12 with all your accessory bits to go with it. So let's start scoring. So on this bit here, I'll just move everything out of the way. On here, we're going to score it at 2, 4, 6, and then because mine, and you would go 8, but because mine doesn't, I'll go to 1/2 inch. That gives me 2 inch increments in between. On these little pieces, you need to score at 1/2 inch on both ends. And on these ones here, I won't do that one yet, I want to do it, I'm just going to lay it here into this channel and I'm going to just score down because I want that one that goes to the inside of the card, so that'll go back that way. And this one here, I'm going to score. I will do it because I did it before and it worked. I'm going to score this one down through the centre, and that'll fold back that way. And we're just going to stamp the happy birthday across there, which we'll do now. And we're going to do that in, knocking everything everywhere. And we'll do it on the diagonal. And we're going to stamp that in peacock ink. Just into the middle. There we go. And while I've got it out, I'll stamp my little tag with the happy birthday. Now, which way do I want that to sit on the card? I'll go that way. So I'll make sure that my happy birthday is round the right way. Excuse my head. And there we have it. So that's our pieces stamped. I'll move that out of the way now. Put them over there for later. Now, in order to get that, the mark here, you're just going to cut down 1 inch in the centre. So you've got, there's your 1/2 inch there, and then you've got your 2, it's this one here. You're just going to make a mark at 1 inch. So I'll just make a mark there, and then I'm just going to cut it down with my scissors. So straight down the centre to that point. Then we'll bring back in our scoreboard. And then I find it's really easy. If I put this in, I can find it's already sitting in that groove. I'll show you again. So lay your point in there, sit it in there, it'll find a groove, and then line up there and score. Do it again, twist it, come back on itself to that point and score. And that's all you have to do for those pieces. They will now fold down and become the little tuxedo sections of the card. Right, so now we'll burnish and fold the rest of the score lines, which I have no idea what I've done with my bone folder. Use a pen. There we are. So the next bit is to take these little pieces here. Now this is the cool bit. Just fold those back on themselves, and then we're going to lay those in there. So you just want to sort of find the centre of this one, which will be, I'll put a little mark on it, which will, if you bring it in a little bit on either side, because it's a 3/8 of an inch, no it's not, 7/8 of an inch, just come in a bit till you find the 1.5 inch point. Now we're just going to add adhesive down these 1/2 inch strips. And this is the easy part. So you're just going to lay it on, line it up there, so you can go right to the bottom if you want to. I come up just a little bit and adhere it, just like that. And I forgot to curve those. Oh dear. It does need to be curved slightly. I'll do this one. So I just laid my pen under it and just curled it just a little bit. Now this one can go up backwards. It doesn't matter which way they go. They're inside the card, so you won't see them. But you need to get the adhesive on that, the scored edge. That's the most important part. So lay this down, and this one will fit just in between the score lines. So lay him on. So you can see how there's a little bit of gap between the two pieces, so when that comes around, that'll form that part of the card. How easy is that? And by not folding them, which I did in this one, I folded them here, I found it very difficult to insert the flowers into it. So that's why I decided to then just curve it, and it's much easier. It still sits the right way, so it still sits up, but instead of it being squared off, it's curved. Now we'll add adhesive to this 1/2 inch section. Fold that in, fold that over, and adhere. Now, to put this piece in, you need it had adhesive just to the bottom section here. Just like so. And then we take this and we tuck it inside so that the points match the edge, and fold it down. So it'll sit like that on the inside. Can you see that? Hope you can. So it just sits like that. Then we'll take our white piece. Oh, before we do that, we need to add our paper. Now, it was just a happy accident that I managed to get stripes going that way. I had two pieces that were just floating around and I cut them, and I didn't realise till afterwards that they were going in the two different directions, but if you want to have that, you can. So you need to take two pieces and fold them in half, put them back to back, and then we're going to make a mark at 1 inch down. So just a little mark, 1 inch down. So it's just there, and we're going to cut from there to there on the trimmer. I'm not doing it by hand, I don't think I'll be that brave. So we'll lay it into our trimmer, line it up and cut. Now if you want to, and it's up to you, it's a personal thing, I don't particularly like it, but some people might do. So they'll lay on there like so. And then these pieces here, if you wanted to, you can take, no, it has to go backwards. You can have those that side up, but it just didn't do a great deal for me, so I just didn't bother. Chuck them to the tip. So now we'll just insert these on. Now this paper comes from the Documented paper pack, which I love. Not many people do, but I think it's just divine. So this has I just wanted a good border all the way around. So that'll sit back like that. And then these two pieces just go straight onto the back. Like so. I was thinking about taking these ones all the way up, and then I thought you're not going to see it because of the white, so I just left them. So then you just take this one and add adhesive all the way around. A little bend, and that's going to have an 1/8 of an inch border, no, a 1/16 of an inch border. So you need to make sure that the two score lines here meet up, so that when it bends, it'll sit like that. So there, that's your card actually made. How quick was that? The hardest and longest part is doing the flowers and putting the flowers inside. That's why I've already pre-done them, because it just takes ages. So I've just done one here on the acetate. Now I've just pinched the end of the acetate here because I want that to fit here onto the back. So I'll just get some glue dots. And I'm going to put one on either side of the fold of the, oh, didn't pick it up, so that when it goes in it's got a nice secure thing. Now in order to make sure that it's going to stay on your card, because this is only 4 inches wide, I like to pop it onto the envelope, bring this in and have it so that I know it's not going to exceed the height of the envelope. So I can put it in about there. And then I'll put my finger up underneath and secure it. So now I know that that will fit into the envelope. As you can see, it's not going to be too far. The same with anything that goes here. It can't be too far out so that it won't exceed the width of your envelope. So that's how I put that bit in. And then I've got my two side bits that are going to fit onto these pieces. That curved bit, I'll put one here and one on the other side. And I always use 2 glue dots because it gives you a more secure bond. So I'll stick that in, so it's going to go about there. And then my next long one. So 1, 2, and I hope I haven't gone too high with that. Oh, I have done. Hang on. I've moved this one up too far. Hopefully I can get it off. Yep. I'll put it down there. And then that one, finger up inside so I can press it on. So there's my 3 of my flowers. So I've got my back layer, my 2 center layers, and then I've made up some little pink ones I want to just tuck into here, onto this layer, onto this one here. So I'm going to stick those in there. I've got 2 lots. I'll show you how to put them in. I mean, you could use 1 glue dot, but I like the 2 because it makes it stops it from twisting and turning. So if you find a leaf's in the way, just pull it off, because I don't want it in the way of where I want to put it in. There we are, there's one. Now I haven't finished this one. I wanted to show you how to put this together. Oh, I'll pick it up. So there are my flowers. Being difficult. So you can see I've just added a bit of adhesive down the back, stuck that onto my piece of acetate, and now I'm just going to add some flowers. And I need to sponge one more. Where have I put? Oh, there's my ink. So I've made the flowers blossom. Oh my gosh. Bashful. Bashful, I couldn't think of the name. But I like to use the Blossom ink because it gives it a stronger depth on the edge. And I didn't want a lot. I just want enough to pick up a bit of a hint of colour. And I'll put this one down here. And then I'm going to just add some adhesive to these 2 petals, and I'm going to put that over here. And then I'll pick up 2 more glue dots. Do excuse me if I keep going out of range. And I'll drop that down quite low in there. There we are. So that's how it's starting to look. Then we'll take our next lot of flowers. Now my little short one, I'm going to actually bend backwards and put a glue dot on either side. And oh, dash it all. It's not liking me today. And that one I'm going to, because I've bent it here a little bit, I'm going to sit that right in here onto that fold line there. So I've got one in the front. And then these 2 here, I'm going to tear off that bottom one. And these ones are just going to tuck into here. Just down in there on the side. Just to fill up the hole a little bit more. Actually, trim a little bit off. So that'll just sit in there. Trim a bit off this one too. Add another glue dot and sit him into there too. There we go. So that is my flowers all lined up in my card. Give them a little bit of a squeeze. I just wanted the hint of pink. I didn't want them to be standing out. And the next thing we will do is now add here our bow and our little happy birthday. So just a glue dot onto the back of the bow. I'm going to put that into the middle there. I'll add another glue dot to the back of this. And I'm just going to tuck that in under there like so. And there you have it. There's my little, another tuxedo card. Maybe slightly different flowers. And I hope you like this little project, and that's for you, Jan. I hope you can follow it and understand it and make it a great 90th birthday card. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.